always say, every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign again.
Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiayi. But first, Ruth Awodi is standing by with happenings around the world of the Commission. Over to you, Ruth.
Welcome to this segment. I am Ruth Awodi with Anti-Corruption Stories. The Ogun State High Court has convicted and fined an official of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Mr. Idowu Olumuyiwa Olamide, over certificate forgery. The convict was charged before Justice A.A. Akinyemi by ICPC for using a forged National Diploma certificate to secure an upgrade in his office. The court was told how the convict presented a forged National Diploma certificate in automobile engineering from Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro, Ogun State, to NSCDC to be upgraded to senior cadre. He had earlier entered a not guilty plea when the charge was read to him in June 2021 when he was first arraigned. Idowu, however, changed his plea during trial by approaching the court with a prayer for plea bargain, which was granted by the trial judge. The charge was then amended from 2 counts to 1, which centered on making false statements with the intent to deceive a government agency. Delivering judgment, Justice Akinyemi found the NSCDC official guilty, and following a passionate plea by his counsel, the court convicted him on a non-prison committal sentence of a fine of 100,000 naira in line with the provisions of Section 25 of the ICPC Act 2000. In another development, the chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN, has called on Nigerians to own the National Ethics and Integrity Policy, NEIP, and propagate it as a religious obligation. Professor Owasonye made the call through Assistant Commissioner, ICPC, Hassan Salihu, during the launch of a new project, Eat Halal, and public presentation of 2 books titled Sermon Guide for Imams, by the Just Foundation, a branch of an NGO, Al-Habibiyah Islamic Society in Abuja recently.
Yet the Quran further says in connection with corruption, and do not eat up your property among yourselves for vanity. Nor use it as bait for judges with intent that you may eat up bountifully and knowingly eat of people's property. Deficiencies of national ethics, standard and lack of integrity have continued to make sustainable development an unattainable ambition for Nigeria. The absence of these positive national values undermines the prospect of national development through large-scale corrupt practices and poor adherence to ethical standards. The necessity of putting moral values into practice in Nigeria has compelled the Commission in policy making to address unethical behavior and the infamy it has brought against the country and its citizens. Some of the core values of the national ethics and integrity policies identified include human dignity, voice and participation, patriotism, personal responsibility, integrity, national unity, and professionalism.
The ICPC chairman noted that the commission was established in 2000 as Nigeria's principal anti-corruption agency that uses lawful prevention and enforcement measures to fight corruption and other related offenses. The ICPC chairman further noted that the necessity of putting moral values into practice in Nigeria has compelled ICPC in policy making to address unethical behaviors and the infamy it has brought against the country and its citizenry. In his goodwill message, Director MacArthur Foundation Nigeria Office, Dr. Kole A. Shetima, stated that faith leaders have a role to play in terms of molding and modeling of a good society in the country.
We believe that faith leaders have a role to play in terms of molding and modeling of what kind of good society that we should have in our country. We believe that faith is not just about only the daily prayers, which many people pay attention to, but also it should reflect on our own activities as individuals. What do we do when we wake up in the morning? What are the things that we should be doing? What we should not be doing? What are the things that we should tell our children? How we should tell the society? If we want to government, how do we distinguish someone with faith and someone without faith? If we are given responsibility, how do we know that this person has faith, the other one doesn't have faith? So we believe that that is one reason why we are supporting this work here, just as we are supporting other work with other faith groups, because we think that faith has a role to play in our lives, not only in terms of, as I said, in terms of our daily prayers, which is what many of us pay attention to, but also in our interactions with our neighbors, interaction with our friends, with society, with the government. We believe that those values that we stand for, that we believe in, should also be reflected in whatever we do. And that's the reason why we have this support for Namibia. I'm very excited, very happy that we are launching this event with the travel guide, which I think is very important so that our imams, our leaders, our people, when they interact and they talk to communities and people, they will not this, the travel guide will also be an instrument that will be useful in the work that they do in other things.
In his remarks, the Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Malam Abubakar Nuhu Fikbo, who was represented by the Director of Human Resource Management of NDE, Mrs. Shafaru Awulat Adiola, noted that the launching of the new project and the public presentation of the books were quite supportive of a collective quest for a better society and balanced national development.
These events are quite supportive of our collective quest for a better society and balanced national development. I think it allows is all about support to the federal government's efforts in fighting corruption and promoting equality among the citizens of this great nation. The book, Managing Team Issues, is not only relevant to the activities of the Employment Counseling Initiative of the Directorate, but also very critical and will key to President Buhari's midterm economic policy, investing into our people, youth, and women employment. One might wonder, therefore, what is the connection? To us in NDE, the team group forms the foundation of the most important and large segment of the nation's democratic elites. My categorization of the youth as the most important segment of the democratic is hinged on the belief that the youth do not only guarantee our future as a nation, but also provide needed energy that sustains the present.
Earlier in his remarks, the Executive Director of the Just Foundation of Al-Habibiyya, Imam Fuad Adeyemi, said that the project was a continuation of a previous project, ITFIN, encouraging accountability and transparency through faith-based intervention, supported by MacArthur Foundation, which was launched in 2018.
MacArthur did not give us money to go and give the imams, to go and give the religious leaders. Because they did not give us any money, we now say now, what are we going to do? So we started a style. We began to move to some people, some organizations. One of them is National Director of Employment. We met the management team, and they said they have so many things. We have set up a committee now in motion that, inshallah, in the next few days, all the opportunities that NDB has, they will be able to support our imams and other religious people who are interested. Then also, we met all Farmers Association of Nigeria. They were so excited that this is what I've been waiting for. That by God's grace, anybody who wants to do farming, they will all what we need to get the land, they will give them seed, they will give them fertilizer, they will give them a tractor that will mount the land for them, and they will also give them something to plant it. Those who are in agricultural something, they are knocking their head because they know the implication of having fertilizer. You won't need 10 trailer load of fertilizer in your farm before you get fertilizer. They know themselves, but don't worry. Those that I'm talking about are hearing. And also, we also work with Jais Bank, Taj Bank, all Islamic products that are available. We actually want to bring our people. We want to create opportunity and avenue for them to be able to be doing something, and at the same time, they will be able to focus on the work which they do excellently without waiting for anybody to support them.
Adeyemi noted that the project empowered and educated imams and other Islamic clerics with the right information on the dangers of corruption and how to speak against the MDAs using their divine mandate and influence on the congregants. That will be all in this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Corruption is widespread. ICPC is deploying every means to get rid of corruption from both the public and private lives of Nigerians. Join ICPC every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. as you watch Corruption Must Go. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
If you're just tuning in, this is Corruption Must Go. Focus of today's edition is on the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Units, ACTU, fighting corruption in government ministries, departments, and agencies. Deriving its powers from Section 7, Subsection 1, and Section 70 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000, the ICPC issued standing orders for the operations of the ACTU, which outlines the powers and functions of the unit. How has the ACTU been exercising these powers and performing its functions? What is the impact of its operations? Let's hear more from the System Study and Review Department of ICPC, which coordinates and supervises its operations.
ACTU is meant to serve as an internal regulatory mechanism in the MDAs for compliance to ethical and integrity guidelines and standards, and to entrench zero tolerance to corruption in public offices, basically, and also by public officers. So basically that is the function of the ACTU. If we are looking at if they have been achieving the purpose for which they were established or not, though just like any other human endeavor, ACTU is not without challenges. Such challenges include funding. Funding hiccups has been a challenge to ACTUs since the creation of ACTUs in 2001. And over time, a circular had been issued, specifically around 2016, to request that MDAs make provision for funding of ACTUs in their yearly budget. And this was done to curtail the challenges that ACTU had faced over time regarding to funding. Also, there has been suspicion and lukewarmness of management of MDAs towards ACTU. Basically, they see ACTU as ICPC in their midst, and so they suspect their motive, and so it has made them to be rather indifferent in their support for ACTU. But all of this over time had gradually worn out, and MDAs have come to accept ACTUs in their midst and support them to carry out their responsibilities.
The Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Malam Mohammed Musa Bello, during a sensitization workshop for top management staff of FCTA recently in Abuja, stated that the success of FCT becoming tops in year 2020 at the rating of ethics and integrity compliance scorecard was attributed to the active part the FCT anti-corruption unit played. The minister went further to say that ACTU immensely supported FCT institutionalized best practices so as to build strong institutions and personnel, as well as promote excellent service delivery.
ICPC, a government agency established by law that has worked very meticulously and professionally to try to improve the system of governance in this country. And like I said, ACTU units in MDAs are not meant to witch-hunt anybody. They are basically meant there to revive the civil service work culture, to revive and ensure that there is correct corporate governance. And I always tell people, government work is probably the most easiest work to do. Easy in the sense that everything you do is codified, is governed by rules and regulations. And all you need to do is just follow the rules and regulations as established. And you would go and work efficiently, provide needed service to the population, to the people, and above all, when you go home, you sleep well.
In addition, we also spoke to some agencies who came tops in the last rating of the ethics and integrity scorecard in MDAs.
Anti-corruption and the transparency unit has its own standing order, like you know from your organization. We've been trying to put in place all that it takes to work on that, to work by that standing order. First of all, we have actually made sure that our advocacy campaigns are not taken lightly. Like I told you, with the support of our chief executive, we have been able to sensitize our staff members, our personnel. We have gone as far as to 14 states. And I must tell you that we have been able to sensitize not less than 7,000 personnel of the Nigerian Correctional Service on interactive forum. So I still believe that there is room for trainings, capacity building, where we aim at ensuring that there is training and retraining of our personnel on what it takes to maintain the rules and to remain disciplined and adhere to
what it takes not to engage in corrupt practices.
It's an exercise that one is always ready to participate in. And for you, just like if you are a student, you must definitely know that there will be that day that you will be assessed. We will not say that it's easy, but it's an assignment that is being put in place to keep us to do that which is right and to be able to achieve the goal for which government is expending its resources on. Thank you.
Anti-corruption and transparency unit. A unit that has been approved to be established, by the ICPC. The ICPC is instrumental to the establishment of the ACTU. And we do not want that unit to just be established without adding value to our internal processes, recommending ways we can strengthen those processes consistent with an item of our 8-point agenda. That is regulatory excellence, promotion of regulatory excellence, and efficiency within the Commission. These are internal processes, of course. We are not just an agency of government like many others. We are an independent regulatory agency, as well as, administratively speaking, we are like other agencies of government. The only difference between us and other agencies of government is that a regulatory badge of honor that we have been carrying for and on behalf of the federal government of this of Nigeria. So we emerged courtesy of your deployment as number one amongst all regulatory. 300. I'm coming to that one. Yes, we emerged fast amongst all regulatory agencies within the country. We equally emerged fast amongst parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. And we came 8th amongst 352 MDAs. So this is our performance. I would love for the NCC to again, come fast amongst all the MDAs. But 8th position during the first attempt is no mean achievement, especially when you look at the other regulators, where they are. Many of them, came, I don't want to, exactly say their positions, but they were nowhere. The other MDAs who are equally regulators, they did not come anywhere close to, our 8th position. So that's, to me, is a remarkable achievement, on our part. A testimony to how, we have strengthened our internal processes, how ACTU coordinated, the various measures we have deliberately put in place in order to strengthen our internal processes, culminating in that operational efficiency that I talked to you about. And not only that, promoting at the same time regulatory excellence. So I feel greatly honored to be associated with this remarkable achievement by the NCC. And I must extend words of appreciation to the ICPC.
The role of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit in MDA is very critical to a successful fight against corruption within the organization. Its structure makes it participatory and inclusive, involving all management and staff of the MDA in promoting integrity, accountability, and proper management of public affairs, as well as public funds. That's our package for today. Join ICPC in the war against corruption in Nigeria. Visit our website www.icpc.gov.ng or call our toll-free lines as shown on the screen to make your reports, enquiries, and suggestions. You can also watch the program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. See you again next week. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai.